Welcome to episode 4 of Behaviour Besties. They have come from an entirely play-based curriculum so far, but the minute I start talking, so do they. I need something that's going to consistently work, not just for a short while.
And I think over time, what I've noticed is we might advise the strategy and it's like, oh, but it didn't work. But we need to give that space.
How am I going to let them lead their learning in this particular way? How can I tap into that in the best way, in the most impactful way possible, I think?
Do we learn through talk? Imagine being in a training session and being muted the whole time. Welcome to episode 4 of Behaviour Besties, aka the staff room you want to be a part of. I'm here with Soph and Tan.
Hello.
I like your sound. All right, let's start with our game this week. Is yay or nay, boy.
Oh, God.
Okay. All right, let's start. Saltburn. Yay or nay? Have you guys watched it?
I haven't watched it, but last week you told me about it, so I'm going to go with a strong nay.
Soph, have you watched it?
No.
Okay, cool. Do you know what? I think I need other people to watch it. This is because Saltburn is like one of those things where once you've watched it, you kind of wish you didn't watch it, but you want to find people that have watched it so you can talk about how you didn't like watching it. Do you know what I mean?
Is that what you're going for?
Yeah, but
Shared
overall,
trauma.
it's a nay from me. Okay, let's talk about Fool Me Once.
Oh,
You love it, Tan. I'm looking at you.
I liked it.
I have not watched that. I'm really sorry.
And what do you watch TV? I didn't like it. Tell me why you liked it. I want to know.
I liked it because it wasn't obvious what was going to happen.
Okay, fair
There
enough.
were a few bits where she just kept leaving her daughter everywhere, like, you have to go and look after my daughter. Or,
Yes.
Sorry about the accent. I'm really, really sorry about that. But like things like that. But I like her, I like Michelle Keegan.
Yeah, I do. Do you know what? I really wanted to like it. And I'm sorry. I hope I don't get trolled, but I didn't have the stamina to go
get into it.
Yeah, I think I watched maybe 3 episodes and I was like, you're boring. I'm sorry. I don't want to find out. So it's a nay from me. Sophie, we'll get her a TV.
Non-applicable.
Any TV?
The Kitchen. Come on, Soph.
Oh.
Tell me you've watched The Kitchen.
Kano.
I'm going to sit you down in front of my iPad and we're just going to watch all of this stuff. Tan, did you love it?
Right. I love Kano.
Okay.
Right. So I was all there, ready, Friday, ready to press play.
What?
I get it. And then I was like, okay, but I want more.
Okay.
So I've still yet to watch the rest of it. So I haven't finished it all. So I could turn into a good yay. It wasn't a nay. I'm like in the
It
middle,
was a strong yay for me.
Yeah?
I'd watch it again right now if that's what
And
you want to
also,
do. So
I was driving in Stratford today and I was like, this is giving kitchen vibes
it was
because of
so
all
good.
the tall buildings.
I loved it so much. Okay, Gladiators.
Okay, I have watched
Yes,
that.
so.
Of course I have.
What are you
That's like
saying?
nostalgia. It's like
So good,
literally,
right?
Of course.
I'm obsessed.
I haven't watched it. Tell me more.
Well, did you watch old school Gladiators? You can't be helped.
No, there's no. It's non-applicable.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like challenges for like fighting and
Like
stuff.
Takeshi's
I mean,
Castle
Miles
vibes?
was obsessed.
Okay.
He was absolutely loving
It's
life, and I was
literally-
like, "This is so cute."
You wanted to be on that show growing up. Like you wanted to have a turn. You was like, I could do that better than them.
Yeah.
Every time I go to the gym, I'm like, might apply. Could happen.
Low key does apply.
Okay, last one. No spoilers. Traitors.
Yay.
Yeah, not applicable.
Soph hasn't got
I
there yet.
know.
No, you're just busy, hon. That's okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we are watching too much. There is an argument for that.
Okay,
But to be fair, you're always giving me a list of things to watch, and I'm like,
It's too overwhelming.
It's too much.
Traitors
Yeah.
is a must.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, I
Because
love
there
it.
was one program that you wanted me to watch, and I was like, okay, I need to schedule this into my life. Otherwise, it's not going to
You
happen.
do that and we'll do another Yay Nay
Okay.
season 2. Okay, let's go to our question of the week. So one of our members messaged us saying, I have a primary 2 class, year 1 in England. They have come from an entirely play-based curriculum so far and find it hard to listen to instructions. I can get them to be quiet using some of your techniques, but the minute I start talking, so do they. They just can't seem to listen to anything. The noise is deafening. I have tried the noisometer and many of your other strategies, but they find it so hard to remain quiet for any length of time. I need something that's going to consistently work, not just for a short while. That's what I feel.
That's a toughie.
I feel the struggle. Okay, like before this, we were like, who has struggled with noise? All of us, right? We've all had that feeling of it being too noisy. And I don't think, for me, I can't pinpoint it to a specific time, because I think there are always times with whatever class where it's too noisy. But I will say, like, from a teacher's point of view, I just feel like you feel out of control and you feel flustered. And I think that's when I'm not proud of the strategies that I do, because I try and get control
especially
quickly.
if you've like tried everything in your box, like all the magic tricks are just not pinpointing or getting to the crux of it. I think that can be really, really tough.
And what about you, Tan? Because as someone who like trains with schools, do you find this a lot with teachers?
Yeah, and in my own experience as well. Like I remember just after my NQT year, it was like I wasn't sure what to do. Like I was like, oh, but I've tried that. I've built a relationship. And I think I was rushing ahead with the strategies too much rather than giving them time. I think that's what, looking back on it now, that's what it was. And I think the work that we do together in terms of movement-based learning and things like that, I think that's made a huge difference to my practice and the way that I see movement and behaviours like this presented in the classroom.
And I think it can be hard once it's got to a level where you feel like it's too noisy and you can't control the situation. I think it can be hard to scale back and to remain your calm, isn't it? To have that calm, because it's that calm that's going to support you to access those strategies and to move forward. And like you said in your first year of teaching, for me, my idea of teaching was you get through the lesson. You don't stop.
No matter what.
Yeah, get to the end of the lesson. And actually one of my biggest lessons was, if it's not working, stop and bring everyone back together and like recenter. So let's talk about some takeaways, and let's start with you, Soph, because you have the early years expertise in the room.
I think for me, it's less talking, more visuals. And I think because especially in the early years, you're doing a lot of talking because you're modeling speaking, you're modeling conversation. So doing that consistently for me, like for 12 years, you have to sort of find strategies where you don't talk. And I really liked the Instagram post that you had, where you had the visual instructions on the board and you got the children to read out or tell the class what those instructions were. So I think that might be a good way to sort of get those children that really want to speak a chance and a spotlight to speak. That might be a good one to do. And just sort of, when everyone's busy, checking in with those ones that are chatting, because sometimes it's like, oh, they haven't really fully understood the instruction, or, you know, they might need a little bit more help, or you to really break it down for them. So really just going over to them whilst everyone's busy and just checking in.
So you're basically thinking about, look, how can we make it so that the children are talking more? And what strategies can we use so that they're talking but in a constructive way?
Yeah, just allowing space for that.
In terms of the visuals, that's always really positive, because it's problem solving. It's like, what are we doing? What's the next instructions? And it's that kind of gamification element to your lesson that gets children excited. One thing I said, which is one of my favorite TGMC strategies, which is the gradual start and stop. This is one of my faves and I use it all the time, right? And it's really simple. It's literally like, okay, we're all on the carpet, and what our members saying is that when they get to the task, it then becomes overwhelming. So let's like put a middleman in there, and what can we put in place there? So when you do a gradual start, what you do is you gradually get them to go to their tables. But before you do that, we do a little re-establishing expectations game. So it might be like what we just did, yay or nay. So yay or nay, should we be working as silent snails? Show me with your thumbs. Or just tell me, yay. Yay or nay, should we be sharing our book? Yay. And just have a quick re-establishing expectations, whatever your task is. And then when they go as a group, let's bring back that gamification element of, okay, how did Blue Group do? What did we love about it? Do you know what, guys? It was amazing. If I was to say one thing, I would just say, even quieter. Do you think the next group can go even quieter? Red group, show us how it's done. And then what you're doing is you're maintaining that volume. So then the second group go, you still got that volume. Fantastic. Green group. And if something does come up, great. That's your opportunity to intervene, just like you were saying, Soph. There might be a need there. If there's someone talking, oh, Soph, you don't have a pen. Here you go. But obviously I'm going to do it miming, keeping that volume down. So for me, that's a really crucial strategy in maintaining the level of sound that you need. Another thing that we talked about was tackling loud with loud, especially with our younger learners. So if you know, and this is something that you say a lot as well, Tan, if you know your children need to move or to talk, is there a way you can do that together? So it might be that you're starting off with a song or a chant, like, what are you going to need? Your pen. Tell me, my pen. So you're giving that energy some space in the room. And we also talked about the task, didn't we? Often we say, you know, if there is a lot of talking, just like you said, Soph, perhaps it's the task. Mm. Maybe a perspective from you, Tam, from like a neurodivergent perspective.
Yeah, so I think going off what you said when putting these strategies in place and what Soph said with her strategies, there's a real theme here and it takes time. And I think over time, what I've noticed is we might advise the strategy and it's like, oh, but it didn't work. But we need to give that space and for it to, and I know there's, I don't know what the source is, but it's like 66 days for a behavior to be learned or something. It's probably been updated and there's probably more juice on that after COVID. But like, how can we help them to first identify what the strategy is and work with them as well? And yeah, with the task, definitely, I think it's labeling, going back to labeling what it is that we are learning in that position as well in the classrooms too.
Absolutely. I think we need to think if everyone's talking and they're not talking about the task.
Yeah.
What's going on with the task? And we know that there is that link between curriculum and behavior. So how can we bridge that? And I think for me, it's looking at how can we make it more child-led? And if they're coming from a play-based background, how can we make it more play-based? We know play is a vibe, right? So
it always is a vibe. And I think as well, children genuinely love it gives them autonomy. Play gives them autonomy. It gives them a little bit of control and how they want to deliver things again. So if you then think, how can I give them some autonomy in this task? How am I going to let them lead their learning in this particular way? Because again, play-based learning is leading their own learning. So what you want to do is trying to bring that element into it in a way that's a bit more controlled, but still allows them to have that space as well.
And so what I've learned from you as well, developmentally, they might need that talking. They might need that chat, and it like might take a little bit more time for them to understand the routines as well. And then we did something around adapting routines for learners in class too, like continuing with that. It's not just September, it's not just after Christmas, but maintaining that energy throughout too, and like stepping back from it a little bit. So I definitely took that from what you said.
And that's just natural and it's part of their nature. And I think they're still coming from, I need to play, I need to be moving and doing something active. And I think if you can incorporate that and just have that in the back of your mind, sometimes when you need to get a really good lesson in and make it more impactful, is how can I tap into that in the best way, in the most impactful way possible, I think.
It's more about different types of learning and exactly what you said in that need for play. And I love what you said about autonomy as well, because that's key to play and why we have play and behavior within TGMC. And what we know about autonomy is one of the 3 drives for intrinsic motivation. And I think often you're like, yeah, but what do I do? So I just want our listeners to know like what autonomy can look like in the classroom, because it can be really basic, can't it?
Yeah.
Choose where you want to sit. Choose what equipment you're using. It could be choose the task. It just could be how you do the task. But it's those micro choices that make you more invested within the learning. And that way you're engaged more and unsettled less. And that's the goal that we want. So it's just having that reflection on the task that we're actually setting. And I know we said, look, ultimately, not one thing works for all children.
No.
And I think it's embracing that trial and error. I mean, first year teacher Jen would be like, no, honey, we're sticking to the lesson plan and it's going to be great. But we have to embrace that trial and error. And we were talking about how we need to accept that asking for help is a good thing.
Oh my gosh, ask for help and ask someone to show you. Like it's, and to take, it's changing the order of how you do things. So I like what you just said, I want to get through the lesson plan. I need to get through the lesson before this because we've got a scheme of work and it needs to be done at a certain time. But it's like, the children may want a change of script a little bit. So you're still doing the same thing, like we said, reframing it, but someone else leading the class or leading some part of the class will help as well. Like it's just, seeing it from someone else, and it's just adding a little bit more to it too.
I think when it comes to behaviour, we often feel like we have to have it all figured out. It's different. With maths, it's different. If you're like, oh, I'm not 100% sure of this scheme or this sequence, I don't know. It feels different to go to the math lead and say, oh, could you just show me this? But when it comes to behaviour, you think, oh, no, it must be me. I'm the one.
It's not.
But it takes a village, doesn't it? You need other experts, which is why we have so many experts within TGMC. It's not just one person saying this is it. We need different expertise to support us. And I think that's so important for teachers to welcome that in.
I think also, like, it reminds me when I was training as a teacher, we did a lot of team teaching and teaching with the teacher at the time or teaching with another trainee. And I think you can gather a lot of ideas or strategies, and you can actually, it gives you time to take a step back and go, oh, that's a nice way that she or he has done that. Like, I definitely hadn't thought of that from that particular perspective. Because when you're teaching, you're not really thinking, you've kind of got that tunnel vision. Yeah, and you're just literally like I'm going through those points.
I've got to get to the end point.
Have you seen those the memes when it's like typical teacher and like someone walks past your class and your class is being loud, and then someone walks in and they're like, class, you're being really loud, I can hear you. And I'm like, oh, why are they listening now? Like, I felt that. And I was just like, oh, but they weren't doing it with me. It felt like it was me and they weren't listening to me, but it wasn't that. It's a change. It's a shift. So it's just about seeing how we can do the same thing but in a different way. Like teach at the back of the classroom, get them to change where they're looking, turn around, move your chairs. This time we're not going to be using the smartboard. Let's go to the playground because this book is talking about the drains. Let's go look at the drains in the playground.
God,
instead.
I love that drain lesson.
Do you know what I love the drain lesson.
No, but I love that because the whole thing is that shift on, because I don't know about you guys, but when I first started teaching, silent classroom is a good classroom. But we know, that's not right. A moving classroom shows children learning. And we know that talk is good. We learn through talk. Imagine being in a training session and being muted the whole time. Like, we need to talk. So it's about saying, right, this class are talking a lot. How can we harness that? How can we move that? How can we tap into our group work? How can we tap into our project work? So let's have a little summary of our takeaways. So we first started with talking about nonverbal instructions and how we can basically support children to be talking more than we are, which I love. Gradual start and stop, one of my faves. Tackling loud with loud. How can we incorporate them in that teacher input? Maybe it's them standing up and saying the keywords with us. Thinking about the task and having a real reflection on what their role is within that task and how they feel that sense of autonomy and if we could boost that. And then we looked at the fact that we need to lean on each other and support each other. We're always going to be better when we're working together. Beautiful. Shall we go with our TGMC mantra of the week?
Let's do it.
All right, my darlings. So this week was chosen by a lovely Evie. And it's, I've never scored a goal in my life without getting a pass from someone else.
Just delightful. Delicious.
And doesn't it make you think about the times where you have had that growth? Maybe not specifically, but where you thought, okay, this is something tricky and someone else helped me to get there.
And it's not like, for me, it's not times, it's every day. Like there's something that you are going to be faced with that's going to be an opportunity for growth. And then it's leaning on the people around you to fill your cup, to support you, to go for it and try as well. Just giving that space and grace.
I think also it's just about using other people as tools and resources. They are a resource. Your maths leads, your English leads, your Senkos, they're all there as a resource for you. And I think it's okay to not be able to do everything, and it's okay to lean on those people for support. And I thrive with having my TA support me. She's my sidekick, and it's okay. They are your sidekicks too. You can do
that
together.
sense of camaraderie, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's kind of like besties. It's like you're not alone anymore. We've all been there, and let's move forward together. Shout out to all the babes listening. We'll catch you next week. And for more behaviour support, you can find us at
TGMC.
www.goodmorningbespoke.com/TGMC. Bye, besties.
Bye.